Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video, and this is actually the first layout I did with my How to Kill a Kit with Style this month. I know it's part of a hop, so you may have seen a layout or two prior to this one, but this is for the Secret Net Secret Kit Club's Woodgrain hop. We had one of our members ask for some advice on using some woodgrain, and as the awesome group of ladies that they are, we decided to base an entire hop around that. So everyone's going to be using wood grains. I'll link everyone in the description so you can check out all the different ways everyone else is using it. You guys know I love wood grains. I adore wood grains. They're my favorite pattern. I think I just said that in a recent tag video, but I was all for this one. So I decided to pull out the collection I'm using this month, which is another Felicity Jane collection. I believe it's called Autumn. I think it was last year's October collection. And this page is the reason I am using it. I had this photo from last Halloween, and there's some really cute pumpkins in this collection, so I've been holding on to it for a year so I could make this page. So I'm pulling out the orange and white striped background. I knew this was probably going to be my biggest chance to get more of the Halloween type things used up from this collection. The rest of the collection really isn't themey at all, so I figured if I could use most of the Halloween stuff on this page, I can pretty much do whatever I want for any other type of page with the rest of the collection. So I'm pulling in this orange and white stripe, I'm pulling in the little girl Amber, who is holding a pumpkin, and I'm pulling in the die cut that has 3 stacked pumpkins. So I'm really trying to get all of that used up. I'm really excited to be doing a Halloween layout. I haven't done one in a while, and I almost did not have a picture from this past year because it was a really low-key Halloween, and I just decided to take a quick snap of this one in my scrapbook room because I was scrapbooking on Halloween last year, so I would have something. But it has a really cute filter on it from Snapchat that has little orange pumpkins on the photo, and it looks really glowy, and so I just wanted to get that recorded. You do see, I don't know if it's in frame or not, but I am pulling in the Hannah Woodgrain. I had a scrap of Hannah Woodgrain from my Felicity Jane collection or kit from last month, so I'm using it on this page. I love using woodgrain, especially with autumn themed. I mean, I like using it anytime, but particularly autumn themed layouts, woodgrain is great. It's a really warm, grounding layer to have that just makes me feel warm and cozy, and that's often the vibe I'm going for when I'm doing a more autumn layout. So you can see me pulling that in there, and I love it. I love it right away. So I'm thinking that's just going to be a nice warm grounding spot for my layers here. I'm not quite sure what other papers I'm going to pull in from this collection, but I will note that with these 2 little die cuts, I really like how it looks having this light aqua thrown in with this orange. That's not really a color combo I would think to put together, but just from seeing those 2 colors together on these die cuts, I think it is so cute. So there is an aqua solid paper in this collection, as you can see there. I'm deciding to trim off the scalloped portion and add that color into the bottom of this woodgrain. I just think that aqua is such an unexpected pairing with this orange, and I just really like it. I've seen orange and blue together a lot. They're my high school colors. There's a lot of college colors that are orange and blue, but for whatever reason, this deeper orange with this lighter aqua blue is just so pretty to me, and it's different in my mind than a normal orange and blue combo. So I'm really enjoying throwing that combo together. I did want to map my photo. I didn't really want to cut into another 12 by 12 from this collection to do that though. And I happen to have a scrap of packaging from my Felicity Jane goodies. So I decided to mat it on some of the packaging because it has this really nice white scalloped detail on the bottom, has this really nice black polka dot detail on the top, and it was the perfect size. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that packaging as my mat, and I think that looks super cute. So that's going to be where my photo goes. I'm planning on having Amber in a little cluster to the left there, and then I'll have that pumpkin cluster in the upper right hand corner. That way those 2 clusters are balanced across the page. So I'm really liking how it's coming together. It's a super simple design. This is probably one of my go-to designs when I have a single photo. I love doing this where I have my photo anchored on some sort of horizontal element, and then basically a coordinating cluster in the upper right hand corner or the opposite corner of where my photo is. I love this type of design, so I'm just having fun getting all these goodies together. I'm trying to pair up a couple of the die cuts. I really liked this little strip that had little black doodly rainbows on it. I thought that would be super cute to have in my larger cluster with Hannah. not Hannah, Amber. And so I'm thinking that those will be a nice little detail down there. And then there was also an aqua label, so I thought that would also be a nice addition to my little layery cluster. So I'm just getting my embellishment clusters tucked down. This is a pretty simple page, but this is one of my favorite ways to use wood grains, is just in my layers, especially on an autumn layout like this. I think it just warms it up. And the background could have been any color, but having this nice wood grain on here just makes it feel warm and cozy, and brings me back to that autumn mindset. So that's how I really like to use wood grains, but I'll use them as my backgrounds. I'll use them, you guys have seen how I used it all last month with the Hannah collection. I love my wood grain. So I'm just going to get this little cluster at the top here. I really like how that's layering together, but I will want to bring the wood grain up there as well, just so that color is pulled across the page. I don't want the only wood grain on here to be this band going across the bottom of the page. I want it represented somewhere else as well. And right now that cluster in the upper right hand corner looks very light and airy, so I feel like adding that brown wood grain up there will really help ground it and draw your eye to that area. So you can see what it looks like now versus when I add this little wood grain bit. I did just decide to take a little scallop border punch to it, so it would kind of match the scallops on the bottom of the page. But I think this makes a huge difference once I layer this wood grain bit up under that cluster at the top. I feel all of a sudden it goes with the rest of the page. So you'll see what that looks like in a minute. But I'm just going to tuck that under the cluster I already have glued down, and I really like how that looks. So there is that. I do need to do a title. I'm pretty happy with how much I got used up. I really wanted to use some of these puffy border stickers that came in this collection, but none of them, I don't know, none of them really I felt like I needed to add on top of what I already had, so I decided not to use them. I really wanted to use a pocket card because I have the pocket card set for this as well, but again, there weren't really any of them that I thought would add to the page by adding them. But I do want something, and because it is Halloween, I do want to pull in some black, because traditionally to me, Halloween is orange and black, and I love the twist of this page that it's this orange and aqua, especially with this wood grain brown. But I do feel like to make it Halloween-y, I want to take the opportunity. I never do orange and black together because it always reads Halloween, so since it's a Halloween page, I want to take the opportunity to do it. But before I forget, I have these Harper wood, like mini wood veneer that I got last year when I got the Harper collection, and I've been hoarding them until I had a Halloween layout because there's these tiny little pumpkins that come in them. So I wanted to make sure I got them on this page because this is the page I was waiting for to use all the pumpkin things on. So I pulled out 3 little mini pumpkins. I'm going to layer 2 of them down by Amber, and then I'm going to have one of them up in the upper right hand cluster. But just to have the repetition of the pumpkin, I think that looks so cute, and I had to use those wood veneer. But here I am pulling in some black. I pulled out my favorite thickers of all time, is the Root Beer Float Thickers. I love these. I think I saw Mercy Tiara use these first like years and years ago, and they've been my favorite thicker ever since. So I decided to do Boo with exclamation point. I'm using some of the black foam alphas to throw that color and that texture around the page, and I really like what that does. I feel like that as well, it added so much to the page just by having those thickers on there. So right away, I feel like having that title helps bring it into Halloween as well. So between the pumpkins and the Boo, I think you get it. There was this really cute banner that was orange that had white hearts on it. I really wanted to make that work too because it was orange, but I ended up not really needing it on there, so I'm going to wait on that. But since I started to introduce the black, I just wanted one more pop and another layer behind the photos because the photo was looking a little plain with the single matte. So I'm just tucking that black tag behind there, and I'm going to add some black and white twine, and I think that's just the perfect touch. But I think after this I need to do some journaling, but I'm really liking how it's coming together. So I really like how every time I added a color it just built to this page. So I started out with the orange and the aqua, and then I have this wood grain, and then adding this black I think makes such an impact. So I'm just trying to get this tag glued down. And I like that little layer. I think all my layering is done now. Like I said, it was pretty simple, but I really like that it gives your eye a chance to look at all the little details and those two little cute clusters. But now that I am adding black, I'm trying to figure out other ways I can add black. So I decided to do some black inking all the way around the outside. And then I will do my journaling in black as well, just to pull some more black into the page. But I didn't want the black to be super heavy. I like the impact the title has and those little asterisks that are around the page, but I didn't want it to be overwhelming. I really did want it to be about the orange and the aqua with that worn wood grain. So I think it struck a nice balance. But here I'm going to go in with my journaling. I'm just going to say Halloween was a quiet night this year. After passing out candy, we watched Hocus Pocus followed by crafting. So I think that's nice. It was very convenient that I already had a striped background because I'm just using that as my lines and writing on the white. But that fit right in above my title, so I think that looks nice. I love these pens that Kelly sent me. They're like my new favorite pen. I can write so small and neat with them. And then I did go in with some Aqua Nuvo drops. That is the calming aqua color, and I don't use that color a lot, but since I was emphasizing the aqua and the orange, I thought it looked really nice. But here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure you check about everyone else who's in the hop using some wood grain pattern papers. I will see you in the next one. Bye.